Alex, in the world of learning, development, training, one of the things that's constantly gets spoken about is, of course, the return on investment, how difficult it is to measure. And as an ex-accountant, or maybe once you've done it, you always are one. I think one of my key things is making sure that we can, absolutely measure the returns on any training investment. And I remembered only recently a participant from a program, she said she did a couple of things differently that she hadn't done before. When I quizzed her about how much it was worth, the deal she got, she said a couple of $1 million. And I know the gross margins that business works off. They just paid for everybody's sales training, basically. So a huge return just from one example. So I'll just be curious, Alex, from your experience, what is it about? What are the things we need to do to make sure we do get a clear return on investment?
It's a great story, and it's an illustration that training works when it translates to behavior change. So just hold that thought for a second. But that's what we do. That's our industry. That's why the careers that we forged for ourselves, Gareth, and why we work in this business. It's really interesting that it often doesn't work. So training doesn't work because it doesn't translate to behavior change. And your comment about return on investment is really, really important. And one process that we always do with organizations with whom we partner is have the conversation before anything happens about what they want to change. What are the measures they want to change? And the key thing is that the holy grail, if you will, is the business performance. So let's be really clear about what the measures are that you want to do. But there are many other measures as well that you want to change. You want to change observable behavior. You want people to change the language they're using around a given topic. You want to see coaching in action. Those four indices, if you will, are the important things for us to lay out and be really clear about which elements we want to shift and how we want to do that. And if you have those conversations up front, you've then got a framework against which to measure. You can then start to observe your return on investment and get a sense of it.
And I guess that's quite interesting, isn't it? Yeah, of course, there's something about the what, i.e. the actual numbers, the sales numbers and the profitability numbers. But you might have just had a lucky year.
Yeah.
Stock market. It's how the behavioural change is coming across, which I guess the importance there is it's the behaviour that's repeatable, and that's what gets the return up even more.
Absolutely, and ultimately, we're training people to help them change their behaviour to a more positive behaviour in the context of sales, for example. We know that those behaviours are going to make it more likely for them to change the business results because the two are absolutely directly connected. Yes, there are other factors like market performance or product quality or all those other things that will influence rate of sales, but ultimately getting your customers to say yes to your ideas is what sales is all about. And you can measure those behaviors, knowing that those behaviors are the behaviors we desire in order to drive that top line.
So I think key messages here, measure it, what are the key things you want to change, not just the returns, but also the behavior. So it's a mix of the what and the how, and set that out up front and have the confidence to measure that.
Absolutely spot on.